Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today it is time for our February TBR, which is also the first TBR of 2026 that I'm doing on the channel, which is really exciting. I hope you had a great end of 2025 and a great start to the new year. To be completely honest with you, I have also already filmed this TBR once and I used the TBR prompt jar, but I realised I missed out a load of books that I also want to read this month. So the first half is going to be the books that I've picked out myself or for book clubs or challenges to read, and then the second half will be the books that the prompt jar chose for me. It just won't be in real time. I think the first books we'll talk about is for the Buzzword Readathon, which is hosted by Books and Lala. And for the month of February, the challenge is to read a book with a keyboard character, like the space bar, backspace, enter, something like that. And now I do have two options for this because I know she said preferably not like any punctuation. So I've got one without punctuation and then one with, I think it's called a character, like an actual character on the keyboard. And I'm just going to see which one I fancy the most when it comes around to it. So the first one, which is for punctuation on there, is Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney. I'm trying to do these with what's already on my TBR, and this was, when I went through these prompts, the only one that I could make fit because it does have a comma on there. I'm tempted to go for this one because I've had this book for so long on my TBR and I've told myself I'm not allowed to get the new Sally Rooney Intermezzo until I've read this one. I'm just not sure if I'm going to like it. I don't think anything can top Normal People for me, and it makes me scared, which is why I've been putting this one off. So we've either got Beautiful World, Where Are You, or Record of a Spaceborne Few by Becky Chambers. This was a birthday purchase. We went to Hay on Wye for my birthday in January, and I found the last two in this series for $4.95 each, which was a bargain, so I had to get them. So it's a newer addition to the TBR, but it does have space on there for the actual character or key, I guess. I don't know. And this is a continuation of the Long Way to a Small Angry Planet series, which I absolutely love. So far both books have been a 5-star for me. It's just a cozy, characteristic sci-fi, and it just does something to me reading those books. So that's the other option. So we've got either of these two for the Buzzword Readathon, and I'm just going to see which one takes my fancy when I get round to it. And then I am part of JD Ray Reads Patreon, and every month we have a buddy read on there. This month's buddy read is The Wind Weaver by Julie Johnson. I've just got this from the library, and this is a romantasy, and that's all I know. That potentially has enemies to lovers, I believe. I don't know much about this. I just know that it was voted for and it won, and so I'm going to read it. I've actually heard really good things about this when I was looking into it. Once it got picked, I was looking into it and it's had some really great reviews. So I am really excited to get to this, and I think it's just what I need to get into the reading mood. And then the last two books that I want to read, these are ones I've chosen for myself because my hold at the library came in for Brigands and Bread Knives by Travis Baldry, and I read Legends and Lattes in January. It was one of the first books that I read, and I don't want to leave it so long to finish a series anymore. So I thought, rather than buy the book and just leave it unread forever, I will put a hold on the library and then I can read Bookshops and Bone Dust as well. So that is exactly what I've done. So my hold has come in, but I want to read Bookshops and Bone Dust before reading the third instalment. So these are two others on the TBR, both by Travis Baldry, continuing the Legends and Latte series, and I believe actually wrapping it up. I'm not sure if there's any more to come in this series or not after Brigands and Bread Knives. But Legends and Lattes is a cozy fantasy, and it was just everything I needed at the time that I read it, and so I hope these two will be of a similar vein and I will really enjoy them. And then if I do, I can get myself my own copy of Brigands and Bread Knives. So this is already looking like a big stack of books for February, which is also the shortest month in the year, so already quite daunting. And then we did 5 picks from the TBR jar, and it did me dirty. Let me just tell you that for free. With the picks that I got, I didn't really have much choice. It was very much, here's the prompt, you have to stick to this. So I don't know how well I will stick to this, but I am really going to try. The first one we got is one that I did have some choice in, and it was a 5-star prediction. And for that, I have chosen Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stephen. My mum very kindly got me this for Christmas, just gone. And I've wanted to read this for so long. I've heard really great things about it, and it just sounds like something I would absolutely love. So this is about our 2 main characters who have lived in 1,000 different timelines, and they're destined to love each other, but at the same time they're also destined to kill each other in every one. And I think it's just going to be so character driven and emotional, and I think there's going to be some really beautiful quotes in here as well, so I'm really excited to read it. And I do think this could potentially be a 5-star read for me, obviously because I chose it for the prompt. Then we had a social media pick, so again, not really giving me much say. If I still have the clip, I will pop it here for you so you can see. And we did actually get Powerless first, but I'm just don't know if I want to read that with everything that's gone on with it. It's made me feel a bit weird, so I have vetoed that one. And then The Wolf King came up by Lauren Palfreman. I am really excited for this one. I just don't know if this is the month that I want to read it in. That's my problem. But you know what, it's on there, it's an option, and we'll just see if the mood takes me to read this. Then we had a book with a name in the title, and I thought I would struggle with this one, but when I was looking at my shelves I actually found quite a few. But the one that spoke to me was The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrian Young. Again, another newer addition to my shelves. My mum also got me this one for Christmas, but I've heard really great things about Adrian Young's writing, and I've wanted to read this for quite a while, so this one was just the one that spoke to me on this one, and I'm really excited to experience the writing, especially in this myself. So that was the next book on the TBR. Then we had the last book on my shelf, and I could have changed this to just mean one shelf, but I thought let's go for what I first thought, and that is that my 2 shelves in here, it starts on one end, ends on the other. And so we're reading Silver on the Tree, which is the final book in the Dark is Rising series by Susan Cooper. This is a young reader, middle grade fantasy series, very much focusing on the themes of light versus dark, bad versus good. And I've read and enjoyed the other 4 or 3. I can't remember how many there's been, I think 4. But I've just left it too long to then finishing the series. So I'm going to read a recap and then we will finish the series. And hopefully it's just as good as the others and I do end up really enjoying it. But I'm just a bit skeptical. I don't know if it's for me at this moment in time. So that's a giant TBR. And then the final prompt that I got was the longest book you own. And actually since doing this, I've realised it isn't the longest book that I own, but I'm vetoing what it actually is. So the longest book I actually own is Alchemized, but I'm not doing that to myself when I've already got so many books that I really want to read on here already. So we've gone for the second longest, but my first thought was that it was the longest, and that is the second Crescent City novel, House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J Maas. 800 pages, but we will be continuing a series, and actually the thought of it now, I'm excited for it. I'm gonna chip away at it slowly. It's a giant TBR already, and then this just really topped it off. But do you know what? I have faith we can get through most of these, if not all. But yeah, there's a lot on there and we're just gonna give it a go. That's the giant TBR for the shortest month of the year in both amount of books and page count. Thank you. I'm not even going to attempt to hold all of these up because that's just going to end badly. So we'll just leave it there. And yeah, I hope you have a great reading month in February. If you've read any of these, let me know what you thought, or let me know what you're planning to read in the month of February. And I will catch you in whatever video comes next. I think it will actually be my first reading vlog of 2026, and it was a vlog that I filmed at the beginning of the year for my first reads of the year, and we had some great ones, let me tell you, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you in whatever comes next.